Please subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss an update from So Simple Tutorial.
Good morning students, welcome to SST So Simple Tutorial. Today I am going to start revision of chapter 6 Political Parties of your Political Science textbook. Basically I will discuss those questions which have either been asked before or carry a probability of being asked as 3 or 5 marks questions. This session will be useful to those who have read the book and understood the lesson properly. If you have not read the book or watched my lessons, I would suggest you watch those videos first. The links of those videos are given in the description. Remember, this video is not the explanation of the chapter, but revision of lesson through important questions. So let us begin with the first subunit, why do we need political parties? Question number 1. What are the main functions of a political party? There are 7 functions given in your book, but as you know, our question pattern is 1, 3 and 5 marks. So pick any 5 functions that you feel is important and write them point-wise. First, parties play a decisive role in making law for the country. Then write few lines on that. Next point, parties form and run government. Third point, those parties that lose in the election play the role of opposition to the parties in power. Parties shape public opinion. Parties provide people access to governmental machineries and welfare schemes implemented by governments. So after you have written these points, please give small explanations to all these points. Now all these points, the functions of political parties, they are by themselves a 3-mark questions. So be prepared for this. For example, how do political parties shape public opinion? Political parties shape public opinion in the following ways. Write like this. They raise and highlight issues. Parties have lakhs of members and activists spread all over the country. Many of the pressure groups are the extensions of political parties among different sections of society. Parties sometimes also launch movements for the resolution of problems faced by the people. Often, opinions in a society crystallize on the lines that party take. Explain the role of opposition in a democracy. The opposition plays a very important role in democracy. Remember, don't write the answer in a paragraph. You must always write point-wise. 1. They criticize the government for its failures or the wrong policies. They check the government from assuming dictatorial powers. The opposition moves different motions such as adjournment motion, the no confidence motion in the legislature. Even outside the legislature, it continues to make an organized criticism of the government. Let us now come to a very important question. This has come before in the board exam. Why can't modern democracies exist without political parties? Explain. Modern democracies can't exist without political parties because if there were no political parties, every candidate in the election would be independent. So no one would be able to make any promises to the people about any major political policy changes. The government may be formed, but its utility will remain ever uncertain. Elected representatives will be accountable only to their constituency, but no one will be responsible for how the country runs. Let us now see one-party, bi-party and multi-party system. What do you mean by one-party system? Is it good for democracy? This is a system in which only one party is allowed to function and rule the country. This you have read in class 9. For example, in China, only the Communist Party is allowed to rule the country. One party system goes contrary to the principles of democracy. All the powers are concentrated with one party. There is no power sharing. Only one political view prevails. The opposing views are not allowed to spread. The party does not have to face any competition from any rival. Therefore, it need not always be responsive to the aspirations of the people. Sometimes you may get a statement like this: no system is ideal for all countries and in all situations. Justify this statement. This is the last sentence of this subtopic. How many parties should we have? So if you have understood one party, bi-party and multi-party system properly, you can write the answer. C. Party system is not something any country can choose. It evolves over a long time, depending on the nature of the society, its social and religious divisions, its history of politics and its systems of elections. They cannot be changed very quickly. Each country develops a party system that is controlled by its special circumstances. For example, if India has evolved a multi-party system, it is because the social and geographical diversity in such a large country is not easily absorbed by two or even three parties. Thus, no system is ideal for all countries and all situations. Let us now visit the next subtopic, national parties. Distinguish between regional and national party. So make a table, regional party, national party, and then differentiate. First point, regional party. A party that secures at least 6% of the total votes in an election to the Legislative Assembly of the state, plus wins at least 2 seats, is recognized as a state party. Whereas a party that secures at least 6% of total votes in Lok Sabha elections or assembly elections in 4 states plus 4 seats in the Lok Sabha is recognized as a national party. This point is very important. Then you can add other points that regional parties exist, operate and function at the regional level. National parties exist, operate and function throughout the country. Regional parties raise regional issues. National parties raise national issues. Then give examples of each. Akali Dal, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, they are regional parties. Indian National Congress, BJP, etc. are national parties. Now come to national parties. You must learn by heart the names of all national parties, their symbols and the year they were founded, etc. You may be asked, mention the major ideologies of Indian National Congress or BJP or BSP. You must read at least 3 points each. I have dealt these in detail in my videos. You can go through them if you think you need an explanation. Next important question. This is from state parties. State parties have contributed to the strengthening of federalism and democracy in our country. Explain. This is a very important question. Over the last 3 decades, the number and strength of these parties have expanded. This made the Parliament of India politically more and more diverse. No one national party is able to secure on its own a majority in Lok Sabha. As a result, the national parties are compelled to form alliances with state parties. Since 1996, nearly every one of the state parties has got an opportunity to be a part of one or the other national level coalition government. This has contributed to the strengthening of federalism and democracy in our country. Let me come to another important topic, challenges to political parties. What are the challenges faced by political parties in modern era? This is very important. You must write and practice the answer. The challenges faced by political parties are explained in 4 points in your textbook. 1. Lack of internal democracy. Political parties lack internal democracy within itself. They themselves do not follow democratic principles when it comes to their organizational setup or their working. Parties do not hold organizational meetings and conduct internal elections regularly. Power remains in the hands of a few top leaders who do not consult ordinary members. Ordinary members have no information about the internal working of the party. Second point, dynastic succession. With power in the hands of top few leaders, all party positions go to the family members. These members may not be qualified or have the ability to hold their positions. Ordinary members cannot aspire to reach top position. The third point, muscle and money power. The role of money and muscle power is on rise in almost all political parties. Parties choose the candidates who can raise money for the party and win elections with their money. In some cases, parties support criminals who can win elections. Fourth point, absence of meaningful choice. If one looks closely at different parties, there is hardly any meaningful difference between their policies and programs. On the economic front, all the parties have the same agenda: helping the weaker section, equity, jobs for all, etc. The only difference is the priority that they give to any problem. Each leader keeps changing parties. They also confuse the voters. Some of the points can be asked as a 3-mark question. So prepare this question in such a way that you can write the answer in both the places as required. For example, there is a lack of internal democracy within political parties. Justify the statement. So you have to explain this as I have explained you just now. Let us now see the reform part. Suggest some reforms to strengthen political parties. Here, keep in mind not to write those measures which are already implemented. For example, passage of anti-defection law. Make your suggestions here. Right. A few suggestions are as follows. The internal affairs of the parties should be regulated by law. The law should make it compulsory for all parties to maintain a register for its members, to follow its constitution, to hold independent inquiry in case of party dispute, to hold open elections to top posts. More women should be nominated as candidates to contest elections on party tickets. There should be a quota for women in decision-making bodies. Election should be funded by the state. This measure would reduce the influence of money power in politics. And the most important, people should put pressure on political parties to reform themselves. There should be increasing participation of people who are reform-minded in the activities of political parties. Finally, let me discuss the last question. Discuss the role of citizen in reforming political parties. Ordinary citizen, pressure groups, movements and media can play a very important role. If the political parties feel that they would lose public support by not taking up reforms, they would become more serious about reforms. People can put pressure on political parties for reforms. This can be done through petitions publicly and agitations. Political parties can also improve if people who want these reforms join political parties. The quality of democracy depends on the degree of public participation. It is difficult to reform politics if ordinary citizens Do not take part in it and simply criticize it from outside. But before I close, just read these questions. What is a political party? What is meant by partisan? What do you mean by one-party system? What do you mean by bi-party system? What do you mean by multi-party system? In what way an alliance is different from a coalition? When is a political party recognized as a state party by the Election Commission of India? When a political party is recognized as a national party by the Election Commission of India? What do you mean by defection? These are all probable 1-mark questions. You can't ignore them. So open your book and find out the answers before closing the video. I'll be meeting you now in the next class with the revision of another lesson. Till then, keep reading and have a nice time. Thank you.
For more such videos, please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you.